let me ask you something brutally honest. If someone charged at you right now full speed, full rage, would you fight or freeze? Would you protect yourself with precision and deadly skill? Or would you just pray it ends quickly? Most people, even gym goers, even so-called tough guys, fold like paper in real street fights. Why? Because they rely on rules, while the streets obey none. And that's exactly where you lose the moment you think a street fight is a game. Now, listen carefully. I'm not here to teach you karate chop cliches or fancy high kicks that only look good in movies. This isn't the Cobra Kai tournament. This is real life. And in real life, you either END your opponent fast, or you get humiliated, beaten, or worse. But here's the twist. You don't need to be some MMA fighter or black belt ninja. You just need a few deadly moves. Moves that most people have never seen, never trained for, and won't know how to react to. Because when you unlock these lethal techniques, you gain more than power, you gain control. Control over fear, control over chaos, and most importantly, control over them. But let me warn you up front, this isn't for the weak. If you're looking for peace, love, and self-defense, hit the back button. Because we're not here to defend. We're here to destroy. Still here? Good. Now, let me brainwash you for a second. A fight is not about being strong. It's about being ruthless, unpredictable, and disgustingly efficient. The winner is not the one who trained the most. It's the one who trained for chaos. The one who knows how to weaponize every elbow, every knee, every dirty trick without a second thought. And let's be honest, when you're in danger, your goal should not be to impress. Your goal should be to end it. Fast, brutal, clean. Imagine this. You walk into a place. Some idiot picks a fight. He charges at you with testosterone and ego, and in less than 4 seconds, he's gasping on the ground, clutching his ribs, confused, scared, broken. And you're already gone. Cool, calm, untouched. You didn't throw 50 punches. You didn't break a sweat. You just executed, like a silent predator. Now let me tell you why this video is dangerous. Because I'm not just giving you moves, I'm giving you mental dominance. Techniques that don't just hurt, but humiliate. Moves that make people question reality for a moment. Wait, what just happened? And yeah, it sounds brutal. It is brutal. But remember, in the streets, fair fights are fairy tales. No rules, no referees, no second chances. Just you and the outcome you control. So whether you're a skinny teen, a quiet student, or even someone who's been bullied for years, by the end of this video, you'll have a system so terrifying, it'll make even the toughest thug hesitate. And if that sounds like something you're ready for, then buckle up, because what you're about to learn next will make you the weapon. Let's begin. Move 1, the jaw spike palm. Break his confidence in 1 second. Most people are trained to block punches, but they're not trained to handle a palm spike straight to the mandibular nerve. Here's how it works. Instead of clenching your fist like a boxer, you open your hand and target the underside of the jawline specifically, where the jaw connects to the neck. This is where the mandibular nerve lives, and when you strike this nerve with speed and upward force, their brain short circuits. Their knees wobble, their vision shakes, and their ego dies instantly. Why? Because this isn't some macho move, it's a nerve disruptor. Your palm crashes into the jaw, not only disorienting them, but potentially triggering a blackout or gag reflex. And here's the manipulative part. While they're gasping and stumbling, you walk away like nothing happened. Everyone watching, they don't know what they saw. They just know you won without throwing a single punch. This technique isn't just physical, it's psychological warfare. Move 2. The floating rib snap. Destroy his breath and his spirit. Forget the nose. Forget the chin. If you want to collapse a man from the inside out, go for his floating ribs. The floating ribs, specifically ribs 11 and 12, aren't connected to the sternum, which means they're soft, fragile, and shock sensitive. Here's the setup. When he charges or throws a wide punch, pivot slightly and drive your elbow or a tight hook into the lower side of his rib cage. Do it with a snap, not a push. What happens next is evil. He won't be able to breathe. He might crouch over, unable to even scream. That's because his diaphragm just got crushed. This move doesn't break bones, it breaks confidence. And here's the psychological cherry on top. While he's trying to suck air like a fish out of water, you don't attack again. You just stare. You let him feel every ounce of helplessness. And in that moment, he realizes, you're not fighting for survival, you're fighting to dominate. Move 3. The temple twist jab. Rewire his brain, instantly. Ever hit someone so precisely that their brain forgets where their body is? Let me introduce the temple twist jab. It's not a hard punch, it's a sharp, quick jab aimed 45 degrees at the temple, followed by a small twist of your wrist mid-impact. The temple is thin bone. Behind it, blood vessels and motor control nerves. Hit it right, and their vision goes fuzzy, legs go numb, and their balance shatters. Now, add that wrist twist. You're not just hitting them, you're turning their skull while their brain is still mid-frame. That's how you force a neural reboot. Best part? It looks like a slap to outsiders. But to him, it's like the entire world just glitched. It's embarrassing. It's confusing. And if you follow it with silence, it becomes downright terrifying. Move 4. The Instep bone shatter. And his movement in one hit. Everyone forgets about the feat. That's why this next move is so savage and so unblockable. Your opponent steps in, you aim your heel or hard toe straight into the top of their foot, aiming for the instep bone, the cluster of fragile bones that most shoes barely protect. One clean stomp or kick here and you've shattered his base. He won't be able to chase. He won't be able to stand. He'll crumble, clutching his foot, screaming or limping like a broken puppet. And here's the psychological twist. He'll never expect it, because all his training was high-level headshots, body punches, grapples. Nobody thinks a fight ends from a foot strike. But you're not a fighter. You're a hunter. Move 5. The throat cage crush. Shut him down without a sound. Let's stop being nice. If someone's threatening your life, you don't aim to win. You aim to erase the threat. This move is called the throat cage crush, and it does exactly that. No punches, no kicks, just your thumb and fingers crushing the trachea. You curve your hand like a claw and strike the Adam's apple inwards and upward hard. The trachea bends, the windpipe compresses, and their entire body panics. He'll try to scream, he can't. He'll try to fight, he won't. Because the human brain doesn't fight when it can't breathe. It just shuts down. It's vicious. It's fast. And if done right, he won't be back up for minutes. Now, I'm not saying use this on everyone, but if the threat is real, this move is a switch. From threatening to gasping on the pavement. Move 6. The back of Headneck whip. Delete his thinking for 10 seconds. Want to press the reset button on a fight? This technique involves a tight hook or hammer fist to the occipital bone, the back of the head, just above the neck. This is where balance, vision, and neural control reside. A strike here creates a delayed knockdown effect. The body stands for a moment, then it wobbles, then it falls. Like you just unplugged the human software. And here's where your advantage triples. Most people never see it coming, because everyone's focused on what's in front. Nobody guards the back of their own head. So you loop around, drop your weight, and drive your hand like an axe to that zone. He won't even know what hit him. And by the time he does, it's already over. Move 7. The groin recoil grip. Illegal in tournaments. Perfect for survival. Let's stop pretending honor matters in a street fight. When survival is on the line, everything is legal. The groin recoil grip is not a kick. It's not a punch. It's a grip and twist motion. You don't just hit the groin, you grab, squeeze, and pull with a downward twist. Yes, it's painful. But here's the hidden genius. The pain doesn't make him scream. It paralyzes his whole body. His legs freeze. His spine spasms. His brain shuts down all movement to protect the reproductive organs. You've just triggered his primal survival instinct. That's game over. And the moment he drops to the ground, you walk. Not run, not brag. Just walk like you've done this before. Because now he's not just defeated, he's traumatized. Move 8. The Eardrum Detonator. Make him feel like the world just collapsed. Let me ask you something sick and honest. What's the one part of the human body that people never train to protect? But if you hit it right, you can drop a grown man like a malfunctioning robot? Answer? His ears. Not his head, not his eyes, his eardrums. And no, I'm not talking about slapping like your angry mom. I'm talking about the Eardrum Detonator, a double open palm compression strike to both ears delivered with explosive force. You're not hitting, you're pressurizing. Here's how it works. You cup your palms slightly, like you're about to scoop water. Then when the moment's right, slam both hands onto his ears simultaneously, aiming to create a sudden vacuum of air pressure. And what happens next is disgusting, but satisfying. His balance collapses, his equilibrium shatters, his ears ring like air raid sirens. He stumbles backward like he just got teleported mid-earthquake. He literally cannot stand upright. Why? Because the inner ear controls the balance center of the body, and you just scrambled it like an egg in a blender. Now let's talk psychology. The average man has never been hit in the ears. He's expecting punches, maybe kicks, maybe a shove. But when you explode his eardrums, it's not just pain, it's total confusion. He doesn't know where he island. He doesn't know which direction is up. He doesn't even know who you are anymore. All he knows is that his body just gave up. And you? You don't gloat. You don't even finish the job. Because you don't need to. You already deleted his fight software. He's just spinning, like a broken NPC in a video game. Now here's the best part. It looks stupidly simple. To outsiders, it looks like you just clapped your hands on his head. They don't know you just triggered inner ear chaos, neurological collapse, and absolute panic. This move doesn't win a fight. It erases it before it even starts. And if you walk away at that moment, he'll be the one begging you to explain what just happened. But you won't, because monsters don't explain. They just strike and disappear. Now listen closely because this part is important. You've just unlocked 8 of the most brutal, unpredictable, and psychologically terrifying moves that most people don't even know exist. Not taught in gyms, not allowed in tournaments, not even whispered about in traditional martial arts. These are the moves that don't just win fights, they erase them. And the scary part? You don't need to be big. You don't need to be fast. You just need to be smart enough to use them first. But now here's what I want from you. Drop a comment below and tell me this. Which one of these deadly moves would you actually try? And on who? Yeah, go ahead and be dark. Your bully? Your ex? That guy who cut you off last week? Don't worry, we won't judge. We'll respect. And if you've got a move that's even deadlier, something your enemies still have nightmares about, share it. Seriously, make the comment.